Howard Hughes was the quintessential tycoon of the last century.
The attractions of Howard Hughes is that he could make anything happen.
It's such an extraordinary and complex story.
There's no doubt Howard Hughes is so many facets to him, but one of the main attributes is really his courage, his innovation. I mean, just a guy who will just break all the rules.
Feel like a little adventure, Miss Hepburn.
Do your worst, Mr. Hughes.
I initially read a book about Howard Hughes when I was about 20 years old.
And there was something about him that really struck a chord with me. There was something so mysterious about this man, so complex.
And there's so many different facets of his life that people get excited about, whether it's building the largest airplane, making the largest epic of the time, which was Hell's Angels, the first $1 million feature, or whether it was him betting all the most beautiful women in the world.
I knew that I had this one shot to sort of make this film during this time period, especially with Martin Scorsese directing, and I just jumped on the opportunity.
In the 5 years that I've been working on The Aviator, the only other living human being who has read every draft of this script is Leo DiCaprio. He's been involved from the very first day to the very last day of principal photography and past that. You know, his commitment to this project, to me, to the story, has been unbelievable, and nothing I've ever experienced with an actor like that before. The way he went in and researched every aspect of Howard Hughes' life, his movie making, his romantic relationships. He talked to people about all this to experience what it was like being Howard Hughes, and he brought that experience to my work on the script.
DiCaprio is certainly one of the few people I've seen who has that great gift where he put it all together at a very young age. He has the wisdom and the intelligence on film in a practical way, in performance, of much older people.
I read your resume and talked to your references. You know what I'm looking for?
Well, as I understand it, you're looking for a second in command at Hughes Tools, someone to help oversee the financial aspects of the business.
Yeah, I'm looking for somebody to run it and do a damn good job.
And the amount of research that he's done, he's sort of consumed by it, and that really comes across in his work.
From all the accounts and all the research that I did, I tried to make the most accurate portrayal of him that I possibly could. I wanted him to sound authentic, and I wanted him to look authentic, and I wanted his accomplishments to be up there on screen, and also try to capture his character and his personality as best I could.
All right, listen, boys, something new. Jet airplanes. You know anything about jets?
No, but it sounds expensive.
Oh, it will be, but we got to get started. Here, come on, walk with me.
Certainly, along with the challenge of creating Howard Hughes, one of the most difficult characters to create in the film was Katharine Hepburn, played by Cate Blanchett.
Now we both know the sordid truth. I sweat, and you're deaf. Aren't we a fine pair of misfits?
Katharine Hepburn, in many ways, was the love of his life. There was something exciting between them. There were sparks between them that she talks about, that he elliptically talked about as well, and they both didn't fit in.
It's one thing to play someone who has lived and people have an image of them, and then it's another thing entirely to play an actor who has lived and breathed on screen and become so iconic in the same medium that you're trying to represent them. And so I said to Marty, well, what are you expecting? What's the tone of the film? And he very clearly said that he didn't want a sort of a burlesque cabaret act. He was very clear about the fact that I was playing a character called Katharine Hepburn.
Hold on to the wheel for a bit. Well, she's all yours.
Where are you going?
I think there's some milk back here.
Another character we chose to dramatize, simply for the reason she was too juicy not to, was the great Ava Gardner. In the script, my stage direction for Ava Gardner is very simple. It is, she is the most beautiful woman in the world.
Don't worry about it, Howard. She's just working the room. It's her job, baby. I think Ava very much enjoyed his company. You know, they would fight like crazy.
There was a real passion and a real sexual attraction between the two. He was crazy about Ava, as probably any man would be, and tried to wine and dine her and fly her all around the world and do fantastic things for her and give her lavish gifts to try to win her heart over. But she, like Howard, was one that was not going to be won over easily.
So you feel like going to Paris?
No.
TWA starting up flights to Europe. Thought I might pilot the first one myself. Ought to be some fun.
Lots of good shopping in Paris.
I'll buy you anything you want.
You can buy me dinner. How about that?
If there's anyone today that could play Ava Gardner, and she is a handful to play, it was Cate Beckinsale, and she did a wonderful job.